Welcome back, everybody, to the OPT Network. This morning, we're talking about all of the amazing partnerships that CLTCC is cultivating. And as we are switching gears just a little bit, our guest this morning is Eddie Ray Jackson. He's a minister for 22 years, and he's also the Chief Operating Officer of Macon Ridge Community Development Corporation, which is a nonprofit organization in Ferriday, Louisiana, that is really helping people to understand credit and how their credit can work for them. Eddie Ray, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So first of all, quickly, tell us how you came into partnership with CLTCC to help people understand credit and credit counseling.
Well, I've done some work for Heather, which is my boss's daughter, Buddy Spillers. And I've done some photographs for them over the years with the graduation process for the people from the community college. And so she knew about my background in credit. I've been doing credit now for over 15 years. And she mentioned to me that they had a program coming up, a free seminar workshop for some of the people in the area down in the Alexandria area. And she wanted to know would I be willing to come out to be able to talk to them about credit and credit counseling and the ins and outs. And I told her I would love to.
And so you've sold over 300 homes through the USDA here in our state, and you have counseled thousands of people about credit and home ownership. We know education, knowledge is power, but it's not powerful until we use it. What's the most important thing that you think that people really need to understand about their credit, and most importantly, how to fix it?
Well, I feel with my years of experience that the most important thing about credit is that we all need it. At one point in time in your life, you're going to need credit. It's difficult right now for some people to even rent a car. It's difficult if you need to go to get a hotel. You need that credit card, and some people just don't have it. We have a lot of people that have been unbanked for years. A lot of people have not really thought about the importance of keeping a good credit file, or maybe even having just at least one credit card on hand because of an emergency that may come up. And so my job is to try to enlighten them to open up their eyes where they can truly see that credit is important in their everyday life.
And so for those people who have ruined their credit already, and even generations before them, their parents ruined their credit because they started putting bills or utilities in their name. How do you dig out of that?
It's not really that difficult if they were very young. Like I said, I've been in this for 15 years, and I've been to different trainings and seminars and workshops, and I kind of understand what people go through. But what I found is that if a person or a child at the age, anyone under the age of 18, if their parents have gotten something in their name, it's very easy to get it off the credit report, because all it would take would be a copy of their birth certificate, ID, Social Security card. We can send that in. We can match up the dates, because you can't have any type of credit being under the age of 18. I think utility companies really don't look at it. Water companies really don't look at the names and all of that, Social Security. Right. So that's how parents are able to do it. But if we could just send in the birth certificate, ID, and when they add up the dates, they can see that person was under 18, and they'll automatically take it off their credit report.
And so a lot of what you have been doing is helping people to repair credit and counseling people on credit. And so you have partnered with CLTCC. The Macon Ridge Community Development Corporation has partnered with CLTCC. And so what do you really want all of the students of probably so many various different ages, what's your message for them?
The message is quite simple. Pay your bills on time.
Pay your bills on time.
Word. Yeah,
keep your word.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as your credit is your character. And so many times we run from that. When it's time, we go and we borrow money. It's all exciting when we try to go and borrow the money. We don't look sometime at the interest rates, and we don't look at all that. We just need this loan. And then once you get that loan and you go home and you think about it and you say, wow, I borrowed $1,000 from Tower Loan and I got to pay back $3,200. This don't make sense. And so then when the bill is due, a lot of times people avoid it. I'm not going to pay this $200 bill, and so therefore it hurts them to the point where once you try to get a starter loan or some starter credit and you don't pay it, now all of a sudden that goes on your credit file as a charge off or a collection because you avoided them. I want to make sure that people understand if you can't make the payment, don't do the loan. We have to, we have to count the cost before we actually can build a house. I need to make sure I know everything that's in line before I try to go out and build something. So in order to build credit, we need to make sure that if we do start, let's start off small, something that we can truly do on a timely basis each month and then gradually go up. Because if not, you put yourself in a hole going in. And that's what happened to so many young people. Credit cards are so easy to get when you're in college. I remember when I was in college, they would have a booth set up. And you go in and go out,
I remember that too.
Yes, ma'am. And so you get that card. And I mean, if you're not responsible enough to handle it, it looks good. We can throw a card out. I remember getting some gas and for the first time I threw it on, and it doesn't work like that.
Right.
When it's due, then my mom had to step in and make the payment. Mm-hmm. So my thing is that pay your bills on time. If you can't do it, don't get it. And if you see a problem that arises, call the creditor. Again, it's your character. Call the creditor and say, hey, look, I know I'm due on the 15th. I'm not going to have it on the 15th, but make sure that whatever you tell them, make sure you tell them the truth. And make sure if you say I'm going to have it on the 25th, by all any means necessary, have it on the 25th. And give it to them. And it builds your rapport with them. They'll work with you in times of need, in times of struggle. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's very important to let people know, just pay it on time.
Especially in the midst of COVID-19, a lot of people are not able to make their payments on time and probably are in a place of avoidance because maybe they just don't have the money to pay. So what do you say to those people? The same thing?
Well, it's difficult because people now are in a situation where you had a job and now you don't. You have to make a choice between feeding my family, making sure I have lights over my head, or making this particular payment when I really don't have it. Mm-hmm. But again, you can still call them and just explain to them, and it may do you some good later on, but just at least call them and let them know that I lost my job, or they cut my hours. I don't have this. My unemployment is running out. So I'm in a situation where I have to take care of my family. I hope y'all can understand that. And that may not go far, but it may go far. The reason why I say it may not go far is because, when you owe somebody, they really don't care about your situation a lot of times. Mm-hmm. That mortgage company or that finance company, they have things they have to do too, and they want that money. But it will at least give you some type of credibility just to let them know that I'm in a tight spot right now, and then try to find other sources that may be able to help you. If they can give you an extension, or if they can put it on the back end or whatever, just try to see if you can work something out.
Very good. So there's going to be an event at CLTCC on October 22nd, and it looks like It's going to start at 5:30. Tell us about who should be there and what they'll expect to take away.
Anyone that's trying to buy a home, anyone that have interest in cleaning up their credit, interest in maybe the process of getting into a home, understanding your credit, understanding mortgages and different things like that, it's going to be a lot of information. My particular part of it will be strictly on credit. Mm-hmm. And we have two other speakers that will talk about loan origination and another one talk about purchasing a home.
Sure.
So if anyone has any of those interests in mind, maybe not now, maybe in the future, maybe next year, or when income tax season comes, it's something that's on their mind, they need to show up, because I think there'll be some good information for them. And
it's free and open to the public.
Correct.
And that's going to be at the campus here in Alexandria, CLTCC, October 22nd, starting at 5:30. And if you want to know anything about credit or buying a home, this is an opportunity that you absolutely can't afford to miss. Eddie Ray Jackson, thank you so much for the work that you do and for the messaging. We've got to have many more conversations, because this is something we can't talk about enough.
Thank you.
Indeed. Hey, everybody, stay on point. We're back after this.